Sorry, just give me. Okay. Let's present, make sure I present with sound. All right, well, hello everyone. My name's Jonathan Israel. I'm a student at Savvy Coder. Currently, I am a chess instructor at the St. Louis Chess Club. I'm part of the Scholastic program where we travel to different schools and teach hundreds of kids. It's a very fun job, very satisfying. I also have a bachelor's of arts in math. Right now, I'm sort of looking for a career change, just something long-term. And I've always been into programming. I've always been into computers, video games. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense to just sort of go into computer science. So I chose Savvy Coder because it aligned with a lot of my interests. So yeah, without further ado, let me go ahead and show you what I made. So basically, I made a single page application and it's a game. It's called Puzzle League Blitz. It's based on an old 20-year-old-ish game. There's been like a lot of different series. There's been Tetris Attack. There's been Pokemon Puzzle League, all this stuff from ages ago. But let's go ahead and get through it. So first off, I actually made a tutorial and I'm just going to go ahead and show it. It's about 2.5 minutes long. It's going to sort of explain how the game works.
Swap blocks by pressing S or
And everyone
X.
here, by the way, make sure, you know.
We can match 3 at the circle here.
You guys here?
Yes.
This is called a combo, or clear. And you'll score some points. Here you can clear 4 for a little more points.
There it is.
Here you can clear vertically and horizontally with different kinds.
There it is.
Notice how this block's about to land and create another combo. This is called a chain.
Incredible. I can't believe it.
Chains are the fastest and best way to gain points.
What rush?
You can check out the chain example video for more information.
Which I added today.
If your stack is 2 rows below the top, you'll get a warning.
Is this it? Is it the end?
And within 1 row, the blocks will start panicking. Matching 3 will pause the stack, as well as when blocks are falling, but this is obviously very short. Creating a combo of 4 more will create an extra stop, where the stack will delay moving for a little bit after the clear.
There it is. That's beautiful.
Chains of 2 or more will also create the stop as well. The pace of the game changes rapidly. Every 20 seconds the speed of the game increases. This means that the stack will rise faster, the time it takes for blocks to clear will decrease, and all stop delays from 4 combos and chains will become less effective over time. You'll be notified every 20 seconds, or in this case, the minute mark.
Let's keep it up.
Here you can see there are no blocks to work with, so you can raise the stack on your own by pressing R or Z.
I've never seen anything like this.
At 2 minutes, overtime begins. All score you gain is doubled, but the speed becomes extremely fast.
3, 2, 1. And there's the payoff.
And if you can make it to 3 minutes, it's even more ridiculous than that.
What rush? The fat lady is about to... I'm almost ready to call this one. KO!
Thanks for watching and have fun. This footage was recorded on September 7th, so the website here in this demonstration will not look the same as the final product.
All right, cool. So hopefully that kind of explains how the game works. It's spent a lot of time on it, including before we ended up starting the cohort. But anyway, let me show it a little bit. So you'll see it's a little bit different. And don't worry, I'm not going to play much, but you can see it kind of works the same, right? You can clear,
And there's the
announcer is happy. But the big thing that's going to use an API is
all the
what
training
happens
and practice led up to this very
is when the
moment.
game starts, let me load the console real quick and also mute this. Sounds good. Let me do this. Okay, so what comes in is right now there is a piece of data that came in from a different API called World Time API. Basically, I take the string and I'm going to use it later. So right now, when you lose, you can submit your name and a name. So I'll just submit my name, Jonathan I. Submit name, and it'll get posted. And then you can play again, which we won't. And then over on the leaderboard, you're going to see that it shows up, supposedly. It shows up right here. Where's my name? Here's my name. So Jonathan I. It's organized by different score. Now, the big World Time API thing is this. So all this is like taken from the game, whatever game you played. As for the World Time API, I'm going to show some of my code. So let's go ahead and take that string real quick. We're going to take that string real quick, and I'll show you kind of what I did. So what I do with this string, here's Notepad, here we go, is I take the hour. So the hour is 16, the minute. So it's 16:42. This is when it came out. So that means it's 4 p.m. and then 42 is the minute, right? And then we have the date. So I take this string for the day, the month, and the year. And that's where I get this. So I have it automatically set the AM and PM based on, a couple conditions, based on the code, which is right here. So like, if the hour's 12, it's now PM. If the hour's 0, it's, so all this stuff. And basically this is the schema that I create. So it's a bunch of this data and you can see it on MongoDB. If I look at games, you can see the collection. Or if I go to Heroku, there's all the data. So yeah, that's sort of how I use an API. Okay. All right. So some obstacles. So one of the big obstacles that happened was, let's see where I'm at on time. Okay. One of the obstacles I have was we use an editor called Parcel, at least to do this. Page is fine, promise, hopefully. There we go. So we use Parcel, and basically one of the things that happened was the images from my game would not load properly. So what I did is I created a system that basically imported all the images and audio that I'll need, because there's different audio. So what happened is basically I would import images, and this is what they look like. But the actual, when I were to load this on the website, notice how this is the same exact block, but it's called a little different. It should be normal.png. This is normal, and then some hash. So what I had to do is basically I had to create a variable and point to that variable. So this would be the normal blue, normal.png. I point to that variable, and then I went ahead and created an object where here's the name, and then it pulls this value. So that value will be over here. And then I have a function called block index of block key. There we go. Oh. Key. Why? Okay, well, anyway, I don't know where it is. Ah, we're in changes. I'm freaking out over here. I don't know where it is, but okay, whatever. Anyway, basically what I'll do is I will take the URL name. So since it's normal in blue, it will put normal blue, and then that'll sort of be how the animation index is. I do not know why I cannot find it. It is somewhere. One last try. Control click, find it, not working. All right, let's move on. Okay, so yeah, that's sort of how the, that was like one of the obstacles I ran into. But anyway, what I want to, the last thing I kind of want to go over is how I used Agile. So one of the things is I was showing my girlfriend this game and she would get annoyed with all the sound. So she said, you need to make a mute button. So I made mute buttons, and that was sort of how like I adapted, I guess, to information. So based on user feedback, that was kind of what I added. And then I hear echo. From Kaylin Turner. Hello. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, it's been a process. The wireframe of this website has changed drastically based on, well, all the parcel things I've had. I originally was just gonna have the game and then a leaderboard, but it's all sort of switched out. Anyway, some of the things that I want to work on is, well, I actually added one of them. It's an intermediate and advanced tutorial, so I added stuff like that. I want to have a page that has known bugs because there's a lot of things that don't quite work well with this game, and maybe a contact page would help so people can, point it out to me. And then the two big things is I want to make like a tech demo. Maybe it's like an hour long because there's a lot of code, a lot of code here. That would be cool to go through. And then multiplayer, maybe. I don't know if I do it in JavaScript, but it would be really cool to make a multiplayer application. Anyway, that's my capstone. Does anyone have any questions?
Great job, Jonathan. Does anybody have any questions for Jonathan about his game?
Hey, Jonathan. Hey, I have some questions and comments.
Sure.
First of all, I'm really impressed. But this is probably a weird question, but was that your voice in the YouTube video?
That was my voice, yes.
Oh my goodness, you have the perfect announcer or presentation type of voice. Like I think of the like arcade games when you go to like Dave and Buster's or something, and you have like the perfect voice for that type of thing.
Are you talking about the announcer in the game?
No, not that one.
About how
your YouTube video. Yes, okay. And your voice is really crisp and clear.
Oh, well,
I know that's a weird compliment, but it's a nice gift to have. And I also was wondering, so you showed within the code how you added in the different voices for that kind of coincided with each image. How did you, I'm just really impressed because I've never, like, how did you get all the voices and stuff in there with the game? Like, it's very interesting.
So one of the things I used was file import. So these were all the images. So I imported them from the thing. And then what happened is I created objects of all the images, and that's sort of how that would work. Why I cannot find the function block key of, it's driving me crazy. Did it get deleted? It's here. It's got to work, which means that this isn't work. I may have deleted it accidentally in whatever this is, but it's there, I promise, because otherwise the thing would not work.
So,
but there it is. Got it. Okay, awesome. So this is what would pull up. So this would be the color and then the type, and that's what makes the thing, the string, and that's what would get pulled. Now for the audio, it's a little bit different. It's the same idea where you pull audio dot fanfare or whatever, or chain or voice, announcer voices, all this stuff.
Was there a database where you could pull all those different audio sounds?
So there's the announcer is from a video game called Street Fighter. And
okay.
I pulled a lot of the voices.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I was gonna say it sounds like familiar, but like it's good. It's good. I just was impressed. I was like, I know he didn't sit and do all those sound effects now.
No. And then I also have a thing that says the sound effects. So this is like,
okay, gotcha. Got it.
The main song, and then this is what's played at the end, and then announcer and all these sound effects. So and I had different audio functions that ran that. So based on, whatever needs to be played by the announcer, that's what would be played. A lot of times it's a random quote based off a certain number. So like if it's a certain they did well. Here's the opening. Here's a small chain. So I created like little arrays for that.
Nice. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, great job.
Any other questions or?
I love the video in the beginning. I think that's brilliant.
Me too.
Yeah, I have not seen a video incorporated into a capstone yet, I don't think. So really impressed. Also was thinking the same thing about the voice. So agreed with Alyssa on that one. But yeah, overall, great job.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, Jonathan.
All right.
Okay, next up, we have Ty, who has a really interesting capstone project, one, again, that we've not ever seen before. So Ty, whenever you're ready, take it away. If you're speaking, you're on
You're
mute.
on mute.
Okay, I'm good to go.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Hey, my name is Tyrone Usher, and I've always loved interacting with computers. While surfing online, Savvy caught my attention, not only by its distinctive name, but I like their teaching approach. So this is what I did. I became a student at Savvy. I learned to code through the boot camp. And for my final capstone project, I designed a website that will bring comfort to the newly relocated humans on Mars. And I know you guys are asking, well, why did I choose this project? Well, humans have always revolved around progression and advancement in technology. And I lived in Los Angeles near SpaceX, and their goal was to birth a new civilization on Mars. Crazy, right? But this intrigued me, and I always wanted to know, like, how would it be for humans to start life over from scratch? Would they feel alone, scared, or maybe lost? So in my capstone, I provide comfort for these individuals, showing homes for sale, places to shop, and restaurants. So welcome to you guys, After Earth. Okay, so we can start with the front end, and pretty much the front end is everything visible to the users. We employ display flex to align all items. This red background is a feature I researched while in the cohort, and it uses an after effect that transition left to right to a specific time and count. This is our Mars residence feedback section. I also use a page pretty much giving users the opportunity to purchase homes. Users can choose homes based on preferences. While researching during my time in the cohort, I learned about a transition ease in for CSS styling by images. So as you can see, it eases in and eases out. Now, say if Mars residents would want to order food or go to a restaurant. Well, on this site, I have a restaurant called Supper's Ready, in that the users will be linked to that restaurant's website. While in the cohort, I also researched this feature called Translate Skew. This is a feature that tilts your element. Users can also purchase an order. And as you see, it shows up at the bottom, or both. You can see the total price. We could also remove that element. This is also used with display flex and border radius, in which the border radius pretty much compresses the border so it can look like a circle. Now, due to our time limit, I was unable to finish the shop, pretty much like a shopping section. But in the future, I will have a list of items and places users can shop. Also in the future, I will have a feature where if a user would want to save a home from the Buy Home section, they can, and it will be transferred to the Favorites tab. So if they hit one of these buttons, It'll be transferred over here to this section. And lastly, we have a news section. So Mars residents can keep up to date with the weather. I use this API that dispenses the current weather of a location. And also use a display flex to align these items. Okay, now that was everything on the front end, but let's go behind the scenes, the back end. Okay. I built a server through Heroku and MongoDB that holds a list of homes. Now, when a user hits the location in the URL, the information will be brought back to their browsers. So if they hit any one of these locations, that information will be brought back. And if we take a look in our index.js, we can identify the Heroku link. We access our data through the server. Then we take the data and place it in our desired location. And as we see, this is where that data is being stored. As you can see, this is the location where the data is being mapped out. And this is where it's being executed. And we use this template, the structure below. So as the image shows, it can show in a structure that I desire. Okay, so now in order to complete a big task like this, in a short period of time, I had to have the right mindset. I received an Agile certification from Savvy Coders, and I used the Agile approach in creating short sprints to create a timeline when I wanted certain features to be accomplished. I also used the retrospective in going over what all I have accomplished and obstacles I faced. For example, I faced buttons overlapping each other, well, pretty much like buttons overlapping each other in my Buy Home section. The retrospective helped me gain a clear idea of the problem that surfaced, how I solved it, and how I can be prepared in the future. Thank you for your time. And is there any questions?
Ty, this is Laurie. I love the story. I love how you came up with this idea by, living in LA and being near SpaceX. I think that the idea that you came up with is great.
Thank you.
I just want to say, I'm so sorry, Alyssa.
Sorry, Sarah, you're good.
I was just going to say, I love the way it looks. I love the interface. So great job on that.
Thank you.
I'm going to second Sarah. I like the story, and Lori. I like the story about how you came to doing this project. And I really like the first page you had showed us and how it all kind of blended together. Even when you go and try and select a house, like I like that it was similar to the first page. Good branding.
Thank you.
Okay, well, fantastic job. All right, we have Yani Hicks up next. So Ty, you can stop sharing your screen. And we will get Yonnie up here.
All righty. All right, so I'm excited and nervous, so please bear with me as I try not to speed talk as I often do whenever I'm in these conditions. So, all right, well, my name is Yani Hicks, and I do have a background in food and beverage management. I took an interest in coding years ago, decorating my MySpace page. During COVID, I began to research St. Louis area coding camps and found Savvy Coders. I attended a few preview sessions and pretty much decided the program was right for me. For my capstone project, I decided to do a website called The Unstressed Mom that is meant for busy moms who can benefit from some of the activities I've found to help me unwind and de-stress. I was able to build this with using different varieties of JavaScript, HTML, CSS, Node, Express, and as well as 2 APIs. So if you will give me a moment, I'm going to transition the screens that I need to be on. But if you all remember, Lori shared a story with you at the beginning about someone who deleted half of their project. That was me. So as we go through this, bear with me and I'll share that story with you. And I'm going to begin to share my screen right now, hopefully. Okay. I do believe we are go. Can everyone see?
Not quite. Yep, there we
There
go.
we go.
There we go. All right. Let me get you guys out of the way. How about now, everybody?
You're good. We can
Good.
see. Yep.
Okay. So this originally is not the website I intended, that I had my heart set on. I wanted to do a wellness website on a variety of topics, but my mistake in the very beginning of this was not using this magical tool that they gave us called GitHub. And it's basically a time machine for all of your work. And regardless of whatever else happened, if I had used that tool the way it was meant, I would have had access to everything I needed. So 2.5 weeks ago, I was starting from scratch. And this is the results of that, and I'm going to walk you through it. As you can see, this is the home page, and I have blog coming soon. I originally wanted to do a daily blog that would populate on the home page, just on a variety of topics, whatever, I felt could help the next person. If you look directly below that, we have what the temperature is and what it feels like. This is actually an API that will populate what the current temperature and conditions are outside. And I will show that code with you here shortly. We're moving on. Another part that I was not able to finish due to time restraints was a guided meditation. Whenever I have time, I really use that to help me unwind and kind of recenter myself, so that way I can go forward with all of my tasks. I'm going to move forward into music because it is something that I definitely need to help me unwind. In particular, let's see if she's gonna go. As you can see, when I pull this from YouTube, it also gives me options for other peaceful, calming, and relaxing music. So that way I have it all right here. You're going to get rid of that because I am exposing you to the technical issues I have battled all cohorts. So we will move on from there. At the very end, I just had fun with this. We were only required to use one API, but I wanted to use more than one because I was trying to own my mistake and wanted to use two. So I designed something called Laugh a Little, and now we have a joke that will be randomly populated from another API that I used called Random Dad Jokes. And I will share that with you as well. So as we can see, I'm going to take you back. I'm sorry. Take you back to the beginning of the cohort with my wireframe. As you can see, it's very basic. I find it funny that I thought I was going to have a database built that you could search, but that was ambition back then. But as you can see, it's very different from what I have now because I was not focused on graphics. I was focused on building the database. So they're pretty much all the same all the way through. I kept it simple because I really wanted to build that database. That will be in my next iteration. As you see here, I'm going to share with you my team's Jira board. This was so important because it allowed us to use the agile methodology, and I really understood at heart what having an agile mindset really means after recovering from my mistake. So even though this is just an example and not mine, due to those technical issues, as you can see, we make a plan And we have a Scrum Master that gives those to us, and we populate our user stories. For example, if you look here, I was Capstone work for 11.1. Also, I was for Demo Day, and that was given to us by our Scrum Master. This is what I wanted to do for my personal project. But once again, owning my mistake, I was resulted down to this on my bedroom wall, my at-home Jira board. So as you can see, I have a wish list, rebuild my bones, the 2 APIs I wanted to deal with, and the most important aspects of designing. So everything underneath rebuild bones, API and design made it. None of the wish list made it, but I'm prepared to iterate all of those things in future states. Now, I know it just looks like a bunch of code to you, but I'm really, really proud of this. This is the code for my laugh a little dad jokes. After all of the battles that I was fighting and trying to figure out how to write this route, because it was different than what we experienced in our curriculum, when I was actually able to come up with how to rename it, where to call it from, I finally figured out, okay, I'm using 2 things, so I might want to call that a combo, because part of the battle of being a web developer is what do you name things? So I'm really proud of that. And what you are looking at lastly is the weather API. Just so you know, I didn't type it on there. I am pulling this from Open Weather Map. So I am very grateful to have learned all of these things. I feel like I'm a stronger web developer just by having to battle the problem that I created. I remember talking with Lori and telling her what I had done, what I was doing to recover, and I need you to help me with my elevator and intro because it's going to change just a little bit. And she just kind of laughed and was like, you know what, Yonnie, it's a learning experience. And it is one that I truly value, and I'm very proud of myself. So I would like to thank you all, and that concludes what I have. Does anyone have any questions for me?
What a great job, Yonnie.
Thank you. I appreciate all your help.
Hi, Yanni. I don't have any questions at this time. However, I did want to commend you for being very self-aware. You know, some of the things we talked about during mock interviews. I think it's really something you should be proud of, to be able to be like, hey, I made a mistake. I recovered. I was agile. One of the most important things about agile is that you fail fast and often so that you can recover. And I think you did just that. So keep going.
Thank you, Alyssa.
You're very, very welcome.
I was going to say, I think Alyssa and I are just kind of on the same wavelength tonight. So I also am a frequent flyer of like the dad jokes website. So I love that you incorporated that. And it's amazing that you can also just kind of like have a little bit of a reminder to kind of sit back and laugh at yourself sometimes. And now you just know the importance of Git. So it's great. So definitely a learning experience, but you pulled it together. So good job.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Yonnie. Again, great job, great perseverance, pushing through. Okay, last but not least, we have Keenan. Whenever you're ready.
Hello, everyone. My name is Keenan Squires. I recently graduated from Hayesville West High School. I've always had an interest in computers and designing, and with my passion for art, I taught myself how to do graphic designing around 3 years ago. With that skill, I've already figured that it would be a good idea to add on to that skill and learn how to code and develop websites. Creating websites and developing has always been something I wanted to do, but did not know where to start. A church member of mine showed me Savvy Coders, and she was helping me figure out what I wanted to do after high school. I attended all the meetings and figured that it would be a good thing that I tried it out. I decided to make my capstone about a website that helps new graphic designers learn about techniques and get as much info as they can about designing and digital art to make themselves better. I want to show you guys my capstone. First, the wireframes. My website is called Creators with a K. My name, Keenan. I thought it was a cool idea. So here's my landing page. This was one of the ideas that I had. The logo and everything, colors, everything, I made it from scratch. Moving on to the next page. This is my about page. another thing that I had. Everything here was here from scratch. And then this was another page that I was planning on doing. I didn't know what to put in it yet, but now it's my templates page, and you guys will see that later on. I'll show you guys how I made it here in Photoshop. All the colors and everything here. I couldn't find the hex chart that I had made for the coloring, but I eventually figured everything out. And I'm going to show you guys my website again. Everything here, this is a landing page here. So you first go into it, it's the welcome page. It basically tells you about what the page is, how to use it. There's a couple links, there's 4 links. First link is an Adobe link. It basically takes you to the Adobe website, and you can go here and you can download Photoshop and other Adobe programs. Next link is templates. Takes you to Canva. You can learn about that stuff here. You can make posters, logos, presentations, all that kind of stuff. If you don't have Photoshop or anything like that. 2 video links. First link is a video teaching you about Photoshop, how to use it, the basic mechanics of it, and really what Photoshop's about. So there's that. Next link is teaching about Adobe Illustrator, and that's another program people use when they're making like font and logos and stuff like that. These pictures down here, they're just pictures I pulled off of Google, but they are basically just examples of what people can learn to make in Photoshop and learn how to do that kind of stuff. And then it brings you to the website where I found all these pictures. All this was made in Photoshop and using the different Adobe programs. Then when I want to take you to my About page, this tells you about what graphic design is. If someone doesn't know what it is, they can come here, read about it. What are Adobe programs? This basically tells you what the programs are, how to use them, and that kind of stuff. And then for my API, it was called the Art Institute of Chicago API, and all it really does is just pull pictures from their library, and it displays them here. All these pictures change throughout time though, so I don't know if it'll do it now, but if I reloaded the page, let's see, yeah, but these pictures change, they just render differently. My last page, like I said before, is a template page. It basically just gives you a list of templates people can use if they wanted to, let's say, like make a poster. Someone could come here, work on that. There's template 2, which is basic stuff people can use for like starters. Moving on to my code. One thing I was really proud of is my CSS and the way I styled it. I'm really big on art and designing, so that was like one of like the major things I was really focusing on throughout the process. Was not really like the functionality, but the way that my website looked. So again, all these colors were made by me. It's not really much interaction with the page. It's more of an informational website. Yeah, and then a little bit more about Agile and the way that I worked. It really helped me with my teammates using the Scrum methodology. Working with teammates really helped me come out of my shell, I guess. I've always been like a nervous, shy person. So yeah, there's that. And another thing, let me see. So like a future goal that I have for the project after the cohort is to have a 4th page, and they can work, and it basically where people can come in, they can upload and showcase their work. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Here's my LinkedIn. I was gonna put it in the chat if anyone wants to make a review. And that's it. I'm open to any questions people have.
Great job, Keenan. Smart young man.
All right, Lori, can I say something? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Go.
Yeah, I really did like the site, Keenan. I know from where you started at, because we both was on the same dev team. So seeing you get through with it, man, that's pretty good, man. I really liked it.
You did a good job, Keenan. I like it.
Thank you.
I love the logo, so shout out to you for that one. And I am also extremely impressed. So just overall, really good job. I was going to ask, why you decided to make this as your project, but then you mentioned that you were interested in like graphic design and maybe like the front end. So is that what you would be looking for in your next position or something like that?
Yep. Mhm.
Got it. All right, cool. Well, thank you. Good job.
I have a couple of comments for you, Keenan. Good to see you again. I wanted to comment on your UI, so your user interface. I really love it, but I do have one question. I think it was your mock-up in the beginning, how it had the black background and then your finished project had the white. Did you change your mind with that at all? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I wanted to make the page brighter. It was kind of dark looking at first. So yeah, that was really
Gotcha. That makes sense. I actually really I like both, don't get me wrong. I really like the one before because the blues and the blacks popped really cool. And those are some of my favorite colors. But in general, I second Sarah. I really love the logo. It's very polished, very clean, very marketable. So great job.
I'm just going to say real quick, I had 3 of these folks on mock interviews and I'm blown away. I mean, I was excited to see what they told me about, but it's even beyond what I imagined. So kudos to all of you. Very good.
Great. Thanks for that. I know it's interesting when you go through the interview process with someone and then you're not in their room. So, you don't get to see the finished product, but in this case, you got to see 3. So that's great. That's great. I mean, that's it for us. These were the presentations that were slated for this room. We have 4 going on in the other room. And what I will do is by tomorrow, once all these recordings are up in the cloud and I've had a chance to manipulate them and put them up to the Savvy YouTube channel, we're fancy here, I will send you all a link so that if you wanted to view the presentations from the other room, because there's some really good ones over there too, you'll have the chance to do that.
Awesome. Thanks, Lori.
Yes, you always have such good insight, Alyssa. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. I appreciate you all. I know the students are really happy to have this audience so they can show their creations. So if you need any information on anyone, want to talk to somebody, reach out to me. I'd be happy to put you in touch. All right.
Awesome.
Students stay.
I was going to say, I have one more quick thing, of
Yes.
course, because I never stop talking. But a couple of you mentioned that you were very nervous before this. You couldn't even tell. You all were very natural. So well done, Lori, well done, because clearly you prepped them pretty well. So awesome job, everybody, again, and best of luck.
We love you, Sarah.
Oh my God, I love you guys too.
Awesome job, guys. I loved it.
All right. Thank you all. I hope to talk with you soon. Definitely.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, bye, Jill. Don't know who you were, but goodbye. I don't know who she was. Hi, Darius. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
I know that I don't know how much of that you got to see. But I'm so happy that you were able to attend, and I will make sure that I send you the link so that you can review any of the videos that you want to see that you weren't here for.
Awesome.
Okay. I'll have to reach out and catch up with you.
We have to catch up. Wow,
Okay.
we have some really brilliant minds
Yes.
in this meeting. I'm
Yes.
impressed. You're hired. You're hired. You're hired.
Well, if you're hiring, Darius, you definitely let me know.
Okay.
All right.
Yes,
Yeah, I'll reach out.
Yeah, so we'll talk soon, but thank you for the invite, and
All right.
I can't wait to catch up.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Hi, Kaylin, are you there? Okay. No, she's still there. Okay. Well, how did you all think that that went? Yanni, you go first.
I'm happy to have it over, but I think that I got a little bit more comfortable just with that little 15-20 minutes that we spent together this morning.
Good.
So I appreciate it.
Okay,
And then
good.
everybody else did so good, like, and everything. Like, I like Jonathan, your video that wasn't there before, I don't think. So yeah, I'm so proud of everybody.
It was great. You did a great job. How about you, Jonathan? What do you think?
Definitely, yeah, it was nerve-wracking. There's a lot to organize, so it was sort of like, but I mean, yeah, got through it and thought I did an okay job, but I guess I'll have to look at it again, see, but yeah.
Well, that was great. Oh, I thought it was great.
I liked all yours too. It was very, very cool.